Hi guys, welcome to my first ever beauty tutorial on YouTube. I've been wanting to film this video for so long and so many people have been asking me about it. It's basically just gonna be my everyday makeup, fairly simple. I am not a makeup artist. I don't do crazy smoky eyes. I just wear regular everyday makeup, and I have the opportunity to sort of figure out and test everything so that you don't have to. These are the products that I highly recommend, and I've linked everything in the description for you, so I hope you guys enjoy, and if you have any questions, be sure to leave them in the comments. Cheers! I always start my makeup routines with an SPF. This one in particular from Supergoop I love. It's called Superscreen Daily Moisturizer, and it has an SPF 40. I highly recommend this for anyone with combination skin or even oily skin because it's not greasy at all. Next, I'll use an eye cream. This Elemis Peptide 4 Eye Recovery Cream is really great because it layers well under foundation, super lightweight, and has a really nice consistency. Always remember to tap it with your ring finger or middle finger underneath your eyes and never rub it in. Now I'm going to apply this NARS Super Radiant Booster. It kind of gives your skin a really dewy, luminous finish and acts as a nice base layer or primer underneath your foundation. Next, I'll be using a damp beauty blender, and you want to make sure that your beauty blender is damp but not soaking wet. And my favorite go-to foundation is Armani Luminous Silk. It's the one I use almost every day. But apparently there is none left in here, so I'm gonna actually instead use another foundation that I love called Bobbi Brown Longwear Weightless Foundation. I actually kind of forgot how much I did love this foundation and the type of coverage it provides. I have a lot of hyperpigmentation and redness, so if you suffer from any of that and kind of want a little bit more coverage, this is a really great option. You can kind of already just tell by looking at it, the left side of my face, I think it's the left side or maybe the right side in this video, is really smooth, almost like an airbrush finish. And then the right side, you could see a little more redness on my nose. Once I cover that up, it completely disappears. I always like to make sure I put a little bit down the neck so that your skin color of your face does match your neck and you don't have that weird line along your jaw. The next product I'm going to be using is a primer brightener from Trish McEvoy called Instant Eye Lift. If you have a lot of fine lines or dark circles, this is a great product to use underneath your concealer, and I'll demonstrate how I use it now. You can kind of tell I actually don't even have concealer on yet, but it just created this brightened, blurring effect underneath my eyes. Now the concealer I'll be using on top of it is Tarte Shape Tape. You guys have probably heard of this. It is one of the best-selling concealers of all time, has a big cult following, and I like to apply it in this upside-down triangle shape, which a lot of makeup artists have showed me. I'll usually do one little sweep down the nose, underneath my nose, on the chin, and then a few lines right in the middle of my forehead. Then I'll be using a baking technique, which some of you might have heard of before. It's basically the idea of using pressed powder and setting your under eye concealer with the pressed powder. I love this one by Huda Beauty. It's in the shade Banana Bread. You take your same damp beauty blender and layer the powder underneath your eyes, on your chin, and in your jawline area, and basically just let it set while you do the rest of your makeup. This Hoola bronzer by Benefit is, in my opinion, one of the best contouring bronzers of all time. It comes with this brush that I love to use because it's perfectly the shape of your cheekbone. So I'll sweep the shade right on my cheekbone, a little bit darker than you would ordinarily want to be walking around with, but don't worry, I'll be blending it in later. I also love that this brush fits perfectly down the bridge of your nose, so if you're looking to contour the shape of your nose, it works amazing for that. Then I'll be blending in the color with a big kabuki brush by Shiseido. I think Matt just walked in the room and is probably saying something to make me laugh. So yeah, I'll use this kabuki brush to blend it all in, and I'll link the brush below for you as well. Then I like to use a bronzer that's more meant for an overall warmth of color rather than a contour. This one is by Kevyn Aucoin. I like to sweep a big fluffy brush all over it, tap it off, and then blend it all over my face and cheeks. This is less concentrated in the cheekbone area and more just like to create an all-over warmth on your face. I'll go in with a second fluffy brush to sweep off the excess powder that I had put under my eyes to set them. And now my favorite step, which is something I call my secret weapon. It's Charlotte Tilbury's Hollywood Flawless Filter. It's hard to describe exactly what this product is, although the brand says it's a complexion booster that can be used as a primer or a highlighter. I recently had a makeup artist apply it on top of my already fully made up face like I'm doing here. And when I tell you, it really gives you a flawless filter on your skin. It almost looks like a Instagram or a Snapchat filter. It just does something to sort of blend all the product in that you have and also give you a really shiny, gorgeous glow. Next, I'll be using Benefit Gimme Brow on my eyebrows. I actually had my eyebrows microbladed about a year ago, so I don't usually use much brow product, but this Gimme Brow is a cult favorite. It's great because it keeps your brows in place, but also adds a lot of color. And if you're not really adept at using a pencil, it's a really nice option. This is one of my all-time favorite blushes. It's also from Charlotte Tilbury. The product is called Cheek to Chic, and you'll see it was designed in a dual tone color. So there's a darker color on the outside and sort of a brighter pop of color on the inside. Charlotte Tilbury herself actually explained to me how to apply this. So the outer ring goes sort of on the outer area of your cheek all around, and then the inner pop of color gets dropped right onto the apple of your cheek in the center. Gonna rub that in with this Trish McEvoy brush. Now I'll be using a cheekbone highlighter brush from Sigma and one of my favorite all-time highlighters. This is MAC and the color is Soft and Gentle. This highlighter has a really nice golden undertone, and I also apparently am having problems opening it. So I'll rub the brush all over the product and then sort of apply it in a sweeping motion, almost in the letter C formation, on my temples and right over my eyebrow. A little bit on the bridge of the nose, on the tip of the nose, in between your eyebrows, and then right over the Cupid's bow. And finally a little bit on your chin. I like to take a big brush and sort of just blend everything together once all my face makeup is done. I'm really not much of an eyeshadow person, so when I do choose a palette, I like to choose one that has a lot of neutrals, a lot of nudes. This is a new one from Huda Beauty called the Nudes palette. There are definitely a few shades in here that are a bit crazy for me, but I sort of stuck to the pinks, the neutrals, and the nudes. And if you prefer sort of a more understated eye, I think this is a great palette to work with. Next, I'll be curling my lashes with a UEMURA eyelash curler. This is one of my all-time favorite lash curlers. You can get them online at uemura.com. I will link it in the description below. I actually just stocked up and bought like 4 of these when I was in Japan. I truly think it's the best eyelash curler around. Very particular when it comes to mascaras. Typically, I use a drugstore mascara by CoverGirl. However, I recently tried this one from Pat McGrath called FETISHEYES, and it is absolutely incredible. I ordinarily prefer waterproof, but this is not waterproof and it doesn't run. You can see the amount of curl and volume that it gives to my lashes with just one coat. Now this is a really cool little product from Beauty Blender called a Power Puff, and I like to slide it over my fingers while I'm putting on my eyeliner so that I don't smudge the rest of my makeup. The eyeliner that I'm wearing here is Marc Jacobs Highliner Gel Eye Crayon. I absolutely love it. It's super pigmented, it lasts all day, and it doesn't smudge. And finally, last but not least, I'm going to end with this Kopari Coconut Lip Glossy in the shade Birthday Suit, which is a really pretty sheer nude that I think all of you guys will love. So that is pretty much everything I do on the regular for my makeup routine. It probably takes me around like 15 minutes at the most. And all the products are things that I've been using for many, many years for the most part. I think there was 1 or 2 things that I used for the first time, but otherwise, these are all products I'd highly recommend. They are all linked in the description. And thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed it. If you would like to see more, please subscribe to my channel and give this video a thumbs up. Cheers.